Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiast. Right off the bat on the old show today, Porsche's in the news for a brand new Classic Center. Now, they've already got one built in the Netherlands, and this is something that has happened before. Ferrari's got a situation where they got a Ferrari Classics edition right there in Maranello, and you can take your classic Ferrari to be restored by folks who actually worked on the cars way back in the day. Porsche's taken a little page out of that playbook and opening up a bunch of service centers all over the globe. Now you'll be able to get parts and service. There's a workshop, and it'll also have sales inside of these facilities. And they're going to ramp this thing up and ramp it up quite quickly. In the next 3 years, they're planning on another 100 facilities to open up across the globe. So I think this is a great idea, especially if you got a classic Porsche, and Porsche claims that 70% of all Porsches ever built are still on the road or are still at least alive today, and they're all going to need a little bit of help to continue on. Next up on the list, the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit's actually in the news. Apparently, the grounds have been for sale for quite some time, and it's got an interesting new suitor, possibly, if the sale could go through. It's Jaguar Land Rover, which I found a little bit on the interesting side. Now, as far as the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit alone is concerned, don't worry about that particular facility because the British Drivers Club will continue to actually run that circuit and run all the events inside of that circuit. But the grounds itself could be built with a lot of manufacturing facilities, office space, things like this a Jaguar Land Rover could need. I really love the Tata Group, this Indian car company that owns Jaguar Land Rover, because they really let that group kind of go off and do their own deal. And keeping them as a British car company or a UK car company, I think, is a great thing. Next up on the list, back to Porsche. You may remember this particular concept, the Mission E concept. This was shown off at Geneva just earlier this year, and apparently now it has been green-lit and will be going on sale. The vehicle has 600 brake horsepower and is able to do 0 to 62 in just 3.5 seconds, 300 miles of range, and 80% of its battery life can be gained in just 15 minutes of charge time. Yes, the Porsche folks are looking squarely in the eye of the Tesla Model S. Now, we don't know about pricing or availability as of yet, but I'm sure those will be coming very soon. Next up on the list, the folks over at McLaren have been working hard looking into the future. They have developed this car. Actually, it's just kind of a prototype version. This is the MP4X. Maybe a look way into the future what Grand Prix racing could end up being. In fact, it's got a wildly sophisticated hybrid drivetrain, and there's no actual physical controls inside of the car. It actually runs on brain movement, which I thought was kind of strange. But let's look at the car itself, especially everything you see from the future. Enclosed cockpits are the thing that could be coming to open wheel racing very soon, especially now we're looking at it even harder after the tragic accidents of Jules Bianchi and Justin Wilson. Now maybe closed cockpits could become a norm coming up in the next couple of seasons. Now, I just absolutely adore this car, but obviously this kind of bodywork would cost a mountain of money. So possibly we won't see this, at least not for the next several years. But if they did build it, imagine a group of these cars racing around the Grand Prix circuits around the world. Sticking with the folks over at McLaren, they're showing off their brand new 675LT Longtail McLaren that's going to be coming out very soon. This is obviously the Spider Edition. If you remember the last 675 Longtail, that thing sold out and sold out quick out of only its 500 units. Now the Spider still gets the 3.8-liter twin turbocharged V8, making 666 brake horsepower and 516 pounds-feet of torque. 0 to 60 comes in just 2.9 seconds with a top speed of 203 miles an hour. Only 500 of the Spider Edition Longtail will be built as well, with a starting price of £285,450 sterling or $384,450 US. No word on when these will exactly hitting dealer showrooms, but we'll keep you tuned if we hear any more. Next up on the list, this car may look very familiar. We talked about this in shows past. It's the little SFR, but this one's going to be shown off at the Tokyo Auto Salon, and obviously this one's got the racer treatment because this is the SFR Racing concept. Obviously has gotten a massive amount of aero work, front splitter, massive rear wing. Look at the massive cooling ducts down through the hood of the vehicle. Not to mention lightweight wheel with single hub lugs rather than the multiple lug nuts that you see on most vehicles. This thing is a purebred race car. Now, that's pretty much all we know, is just what we can see, because Toyota is yet to release anything about the powertrain or anything like this. But the little 1.5 liter normally aspirated 4, I'm assuming won't return in this particular car, especially try to pull around this much aero work. So we'll keep you in tune once Tokyo Auto Salon hits in Tokyo, Japan. Last up on the list, a little blast from the past. You may remember this car from back in the record days, or at least I should say the domination days, that Renault Sport was doing back in the day with their Renault Grand Prix team. Well, we're going to get to see a little bit more of this, obviously minus the Fernando Alonso connection, but there's nothing to be said that that connection couldn't be made again. Now, Renault has now come in, and at least they've been building power plants and power units over the past several years, but now they're going to come in and be a full works team, as they will be taking over the Lotus Grand Prix team, which is fantastic news for those folks, because there was a lot of rumors that that place would shut down completely and put a lot of folks out of work. So going to be nice to have another manufacturer on the grid as far as a works team is concerned. So the Formula One circus in 2016 is going to be fantastic. A lot of very good race teams are going to be running, so cannot wait for Melbourne, Australia coming up in March of 2016. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, don't forget to like us over there. We update that page twice a day, every day. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.